Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thanks for everyone being part of this discussion today. I'm one that would like to see all of our agencies be a little bit more parental and cooperative and caring to the American people than punitive, but punitive when it's appropriate. And hopefully we can head in that direction at some point. I'm not going to continue to all the discussion about ProPublica. That's obviously a problem, and I do want to address it, um, and I'll get into that. Mr. Swazi brought something up today that I thought was an important question on how to ask it. You're talking about increasing number of employees with the IRS, and will that increase the net revenue, not just revenue, but net revenue? Obviously, that's important, and I think that's what he was driving at. And at the same time, when we talk about increasing taxes, we have to make sure that that doesn't decrease employment and decrease our net revenue. So that's something we have to consider as we move forward with what we're doing with taxes. But going back to ProPublica, leaks like these, especially without accountability, they shake our constituents' confidence in the IRS. Their confidence in our tax system in general is gone, and our ability to secure the private information that they give us year after year is obviously on the line. And I want our citizens to be able to trust our agencies, be able to trust our IRS, but seemingly we're a long way from that. And all this is coming at a time when the administration is seeking nearly $80 billion in taxpayer dollars, with more than 70 billion of that, which would go to mandatory spending to grow the IRS, and at the same time seeking access to even more private data. It's a tough sell, I got to tell you right now. But let me shift gears just a little bit. This tax compliance proposal imposes complex and some costly reporting and data collection requirements on our financial institutions. And I am also concerned that this make many banks facing the IRS enforcement that puts their reputations and their relationships with their customers at risk. And I want to ask this question, probably two questions really here I want to ask, and I'll ask them both to Mr. Mazur if I can. But what outreach is the IRS doing to ensure smaller community and independent banks are not smothered with compliance burdens and perhaps, and most importantly, cost? And what is the plan for securing this entirely new data set? My second question is, can you guarantee no one making under $400,000 will be impacted negatively by this tax proposal? I'll give both questions to you if I could, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Wenstrup. It's important first to realize on the data that's being requested, this is information that financial institutions already have about their customers. If you look at your personal bank account, you'll see that there's monthly a tallying up of inflows and outflows from your accounts. And so really what we're asking for in this request, this proposal, is that information tallied up for each account on an annual basis. And for the smaller and community banks, there could be some costs. And this is something where we'd be, as administration, very willing to work with affected institutions to figure out what is the best way to go about doing this. It at most should be a one-time cost because it is a routine set of information that's collected, but you wouldn't want it to be overly burdensome. Second question you asked about taxpayers with income under $400,000 and change in their taxes. The proposal, the compliance proposal, looks at increasing the amount of resources to the IRS to ensure that people pay the taxes that are owed under the laws that Congress has already passed. The administration would like to see audit rates go back to where they were in recent years, so to reverse some of the decline.
If I can, my other question was, can you guarantee no one making under 400,000 will be negatively impacted by the tax proposal?
By the compliance proposal?
But by the tax proposal in general.
The tax proposal in general, we worked very hard to ensure that taxpayers with income under 400,000 would not face a higher tax rate, would not face increased tax rates on their capital gains income. and all of those things. So that's detailed very much in the Treasury Green Book, which outlined a lot of the proposals.